all, welcome to the Lighthouse Talk Show with RG. As I mentioned, RG is Ranjana Ghoshal, and Lighthouse, light is leadership, inspiration, growth, hope, and transformation. And let me introduce today my guest. Her name is Miss Rikta Funny. And Miss Rikta Funny, her pronouns are she and her. Has about 2.5 decades of corporate leadership experience. She spent 10 years in the customer support space and about a decade and a half in the L&D space. She has trained, mentored, and coached over 10,000 learners in the field of sales, CS, and leadership. She has helped build learning content, and she set up and managed KM factories supporting over 30,000 learners who were servicing domestic and global consumers. Wow! And she considers herself to be a lifelong learner, storyteller, and an avid reader. Welcome, Miss Rekta Funny, to my talk show, Lighthouse with RG.
Thank you so much, Ranjana. Happy to be here.
My pleasure, ma'am. So, let me just ask you a few questions, and the objective is that in today's date, leadership is changing.
Yes.
Every aspect of growth is changing. It's a VUCA world. It's a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world.
Right.
And what worked in the past, it doesn't work today. Everything is changing, and we have to adapt to every situation. And even important, the young generation, the aspiring leaders, the young leaders, they need a lot of guidance. And Ms. Rikta, me being a peak performance coach, I would say strategic peak performance coach for corporate leaders and business owners, I think we really need to work on this change, because everybody is struggling in one way or the other. If we can help each other grow, nothing like that. So, right?
Absolutely.
So, let's share our experiences today. My first question is, looking back on your career, what was a defining moment in your leadership journey, and how did it shape you?
Okay. So thank you for the question, Ranjana. And I must say it's a very interesting question, and kind of, takes me back to a lot of experiences. As you rightly said, the world is volatile and VUCA at its level. I worked, as you just saw, for about 2.5 decades. Now, there is a bit of a, mystery in those years, when for about 4.5 years I was not working, right? It was a situation where I had to choose between my family priorities and my corporate responsibilities, and I chose the latter. And, it was like one day I was at the helm of things, and the next day I was back to my home in Calcutta, came back there, and I wanted to fit into the world here. And I must tell you, the 4.5 years that I wanted to fit into the other world, which I never had an experience of, was really a roller coaster ride. And I think that those 4.5 years were the shaping time of my, life. When I understood that being a corporate is fine, but you need to also understand yourself and how you fit in as a corporate when you are running that race. And I have no qualms in saying that for the 20 years, I did not know myself when I was running the race. I was just in that race.
Amazing.
Right? And the 4 years when I was not in the race, when I was just, I left everything and I was in that situation of flux, it kind of coerced me to slow down. And when I slowed down, I was finally able to connect to the finer sensibilities that I had as a human being. And I think that slowdown was like a shaping moment of my life. It shaped me as a professional, to be a better professional, because now the 4 years taught me two, three things. Out of them, the most important thing was to learn to connect myself, put myself, my learning, things I like to do really before anything. And the second most important thing was to learn to say no.
Wow.
Right? So it kind of slowed me down like anything. And I learned to say no for almost everything. No, I don't want this. No, I don't want to do this. No, I don't think this is going to work in my favor. And then after the 4.5 years, when I stepped back, it was like a different me, and me playing a different curveball, where I knew what I wanted, where I spoke my mind, where I am more forthcoming, and I'm able to also empathetically say no when I don't want to do something. So I prioritize myself. At the same time, I'm able to take my corporate responsibilities in a responsible manner, and also take care of my life in a more responsible manner. Right? I think
Fantastic. That's like brilliant. So you mean to say when you take a break,
yes,
you get more clarity about yourself, and when you are clear about everything, you learn to say no, because you know when to say no, because you exactly know why you are saying no.
yes,
Right?
absolutely.
This is brilliant. I think this is a great learning. We always hesitate to say a no. If you're clear enough, please learn to say no, right? Yes. So my next question would be, apart from leadership and soft skills, what else do you think is essential for creating a real impact as a leader?
I must say, I'm really impressed with the questions, Ranjana.
Thank you so much.
Right, and I really like them, because these are things that I've been thinking, and I do think when I am in the space with my team, and also larger teams when we have to interact. So there's a lot that can be said, and you would know. But in my case, the first thing that one needs to exhibit as a leader is to provide psychological safety to the people who are working with you. And in my opinion, and I have been extremely grateful to my leaders who have, also believed the fact that leadership is very flat, right? It's not. Gone are the days when you're sitting on the top with a hunter and
Correct.
having yes men. So I think if you have a team and you want to be a leader, there's this word called servant leader these days and all of that. But I think the most important thing is, are you providing psychological safety to your team so that they are able to be unabashedly themselves when they have to be themselves in front of you? They are not yes men, right?
Yes.
And you as a professional, the second thing I love is the, coinage, having power intelligence. You as a leader,
Wow.
do you have power intelligence to provide psychological safety and also be yourself when it is exhibited in front of you? So I think these are the two things.
Power intelligence. I mean, I think this is a new word for me. Has it been coined by you?
No, it's something by a brilliant coach, Julie Diamond.
Okay.
And I, her handbook is what I, always keep with me.
Really nice. So power intelligence. Do you understand the power of this phrase called power intelligence? So a leader needs to have that power intelligence, right? To understand the people around and exactly handle them the way they would love to. Allow them to speak for themselves, correct?
Sure.
Wow, that is brilliant, because the moment we hear about leadership, we feel that we are God. We need to control everything. It's not right. So a leader should have that power intelligence to exactly handle those people, the people around the team, the young people, so that they also actually are able to talk what they want to and express themselves, right? I have a program called Expressions and Emotions, which is a retreat program, and I allow each leader and the team to actually express themselves. So I think it's the need of the hour. So Ms. Rita, fantastic. I really love the term that you have actually taught me today, power intelligence. So you have worked across multiple industries in HR and training. What is one major shift you have seen in how organizations approach talent development, and what is still missing?
Okay. Here's the good part that there's today, information is available everywhere. And what I have seen across the different organizations that I have worked with, leaders today, organizations today are more L&D specific. So L&D is no longer that cost that you incur, and when the cost is less,
Yes.
L&D people are first to walk out of the door.
Oh, yes.
So that doesn't happen anymore.
Very good.
People do see a lot of value. There's a lot of buzz about AI, agentic AI, and all of this happening around, and I see organizations adapting and adopting those. However, I think that we need to be consistent. There is a lot of information out there, and yes, all of us are greedy to learn more, know more, which is a good thing. However, I would be consistent about what information I pick up. What is it that I do to shape my career? So that's one place where I think people need to be a bit careful. You get 10 things. It's not that you pick up all the 10 things. Pick up those skills which you think are valuable and add value to you or help you progress. Rest, I think, can follow. So have a very calculated, guided process to get the knowledge which is out there, and be consistent at it. It should not be like a flash in the pan, right?
Right, absolutely. So I feel that with clarity, with the idea of clarity, all these things fall into place and you really choose the best for yourself. So coming back to what I actually train on is the first level of everything is first mapping your vision and then discovering your own winning formula, because it's not about one size fits all.
True.
So everybody needs to understand what is that formula that is going to work for you. So it's very important to decode it for yourself, and that you can only do when you have enough bandwidth, enough understanding of your own self. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So thank you for this wonderful answer, and we'll go to the next question, Ms. Rikta. In today's fast-changing work environment, true for all of us, right? How can leaders create a culture of continuous learning and adaptability within their teams?
Okay. This is also a very good one. And you can call me Rikta.
Okay.
So,
So, Ms. Rikta, sorry, please start your drink.
I
Make
will.
it a very informal session.
thank you so much.
Yes.
So I think continuous learning process, there's a lot of responsibility, or the learner has a lot of responsibility about it. However, in today's corporate, I think a lot also depends on how it is driven from the top, right? So if you say, I kind of want to foster learning, and at the same time you tell your team that, look, your KPIs are important, and I don't know, you have to finish it within this time, that time.
Right.
It will actually not work, because there are two directions that the person would be getting. So as a leader, if I want to foster an environment of continuous learning, I need to be a part of that. I need to, when I say parts that, I need to build a support system around that so that people are able to follow that. And second, I think one needs to be an example. You need to lead with an example. You cannot set up KPIs for the entire team and you're not doing anything about it.
Right.
Also, it is important for a learner to be connected with the greater vision of the organization. That is what I feel.
Correct.
Right? There can be 10,000 things you want to learn. But when you are talking about continuous learning, it's two-pronged. It's a two-pronged approach. One is how you develop yourself, and second is what do you do to help your organization lead and live the values and the mission that they are on to, right? So yeah, it is not a single way. And as learning is a very and I have whenever I think of learning, I tell all my team, I am always behind their back, do this, do that. And anybody who tells me that Rikta, there's no time, when will they go, or when we have chat ups. So my favorite go-to quote is, if you think learning is expensive, then you try ignorance. Right?
Doesn't work today's day.
Exactly.
You need to be a lifelong learner.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you have to build that environment for that person to take out that time. You have to build the learning environment. You have to give them the support, give them the material, give them the guidance. Otherwise, it's going to be...
Yeah, it's in this fast changing world, the best weapon you can have is learning and learning. And not only learning, I truly believe in implementation.
Absolutely.
So learning with implementation can give you wonderful results. So, Rikta, this was a very good way of expressing and making all of us understand how important is learning. And now my last question for today is, if you could share one key message or lesson from your journey as a leader that you think everyone should hear, what would it be?
Okay. So before I answer that question, Ranjana, as a kid, the first lesson that I learned from my mother and I never forgot was, Goddess Saraswati, right?
Yes.
So she once told us when we were very young, me and my sister, and she said, this is someone who will never leave you, right? And now I comprehend the value of what she said. In organizations, if you want to be there, if you want to evolve, if you want to grow, the best service that you can give to yourself is be a continuous learner. Learn new skills, upskill yourself, share the learning, be a part of, learning journeys of support, build a community. So for me, that's the most important thing as a professional that you can do. There are other KPIs which you anyway would have to do, but this is something that you need to follow passionately, because at the end of the day, it's a changing world, as you done by saying it's a VUCA world, it's an ambiguous world. And if you analyze each of those words, the only thing that can take you out or in wherever from there is your knowledge.
Wow. Goddess Saraswati and your knowledge and the beautiful way you said nobody can take it away.
Yes.
That's so true, so true. I mean, this is an eye-opener that your knowledge cannot be taken by anyone. So, my audience here, do you understand the importance of learning and lifelong learning and learning and implementing, right, Ms. Rikta?
Absolutely.
So this was a wonderful talk show. Thank you very much for all your inputs. I'm sure my audience has really learned a lot from you. And I hope to invite you again for more insights, more thoughts, and thank you very much once again.
Thank you. It's for a wonderful experience, Ranjana.
Thank you, Ms. Rikta.
Yeah.
Hey all, this is Ranjana Ghoshal here. I'm sure you learned a lot from Ms. Rikta today. She is an experienced leader and she has a lot to give to us, and maybe I'll be calling her soon. Thank you very much.